All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever wondered what makes a fictional world feel, well, real? A lot of the time, it's not the big, flashy stuff like prophecies or epic battles. It's the small things, these tiny, consistent details that are hiding right in front of us. Today, we're going to see how something as simple as a naming system can create an entire culture, define a family, and just make a world feel alive.
And this is the core of what we're talking about today. For one particular branch of this noble family, the Tarakavez, your name isn't just what people call you, it's a map. It tells you who you are, what your place in the world is, and how you connect to the land itself. It's like a secret code tucked right into your name.
So to really get a handle on this system, we're going to need a guide. And that guide is Kiranthos. He's a young guy from the countryside branch of the family. He's not some big city politician or a slick coastal merchant. His whole world is about rolling hills, vineyards, and just living by the rhythm of the seasons.
Now, this isn't just a shopping list, This is basically a portrait of who he is. Kiranthos isn't just a name. He's the guy who takes care of the family's pride and joy, their cranberry wine. He's in charge of the livestock, the horses, and the local artisan cheese. His life is literally tied to the earth. He is all about that rooted, grounded strength.
And this line just perfectly captures his whole vibe, doesn't it? For him, this isn't just a job, it's a whole philosophy. We can see, just from his own words, that this is someone who finds real wisdom in his work. He's kind of this countryside philosopher, with a mix of rustic humor and some pretty deep insights. Now, remember that grounded, patient nature. It's a huge clue.
And there it is, his full name. Now, at first glance, it might just look like a pretty cool fantasy name. But hidden right there in the middle is the key to understanding his entire culture. Let's start breaking this down and see how this one name unlocks a really fascinating system.
Okay, so we're shifting gears a little. We're moving from the man himself to the name. We're about to put on our linguistic detective hats and crack the code that really defines his family and his world.
So this is the big question. That tiny two-letter suffix -QHA. In the Tarakavez world, that is not just some random sound. No way. It's a very deliberate marker of who you are. So, based on what we know about him so far, any guesses what it might mean? Let's find out.
The answer is in this beautifully simple cultural rule. It's like a linguistic switch that splits the family's roles and their whole identities into two camps. It's a tale of two suffixes, and I promise, once you get it, the entire family tree just snaps into perfect focus.
So, the official name for this system is the Arikana suffixes. And in the specific dialect spoken out in the Tarakavez countryside, these little endings on a name are just packed with meaning. They tell you about a person's core nature or their place in the community.
And here it is, the aha moment. There are two main suffixes. First you have Kyuha. This one means gentleness, nurturing, lyrical qualities. So think artists, healers, poets. It's all about fluidity and song. But then you have ta. This suffix is the opposite. It represents weight, being grounded, rustic strength. It's for traders, craftspeople, breeders, anyone whose work is tied to physical labor and trade. One is lyrical, the other is literal.
Okay, so we have the rule. Kuha for the lyrical, ta for the grounded. Now, that might feel a little abstract, right? Well, the real beauty of this piece of world building is just how consistent it is. Let's see how this one simple rule plays out across a whole generation of the Tarakavez family.
And here's the proof. Just look at this pattern. Anyone in a physical, trade-based role like Arvinta, the trade overseer, or Zorinta, the butcher, gets that ta suffix. But then look at those in more creative or nurturing roles like Slika, the wine-blending ritualist, or Viaracha, the festival songstress. They all get ha. The rule is applied perfectly all the way down the list. And just like that, you have an instant, believable cultural logic. So let's zoom out a bit. What we've just seen is way more than just a cool detail in a story. It's a masterclass in how to build a world powerfully and efficiently. For any of you out there creating your own worlds, whether you're a writer, a game designer, or even just a daydreamer, there's a really deep lesson here.
So, what's the secret sauce here? Well, it boils down to two really simple steps. First, you define a rule. It doesn't need to be complicated. In fact, simpler is usually better. A tale of two suffixes, right? And second, you apply that rule with absolute, unwavering consistency. It's that consistency that turns a neat little idea into a believable piece of a living, breathing world.
And that is the ultimate takeaway. You don't need a 1,000-page encyclopedia to make a world feel real. Sometimes all it takes is one small, perfect detail that you apply with real intention. That one detail can suggest a whole history, a culture, a social structure, way more effectively than pages and pages of exposition ever could.
So, I'll leave you with this question. It could be a naming convention, a weird rule of etiquette, or a unique way people greet each other. What's the one small, simple rule that you could apply consistently to make your own world feel just as deep and real as the world of the Tarak Havez?